everyone, and welcome to Art is Movement, a virtual showcase and fundraiser. I'm Emily Maxwell, and my pronouns are she, her.
And I'm Nathan Sartori, and my pronouns are he, him. And together, we are the co-directors of the Disability Collective.
And we are so thrilled to have you join us here for our inaugural event.
We have such an incredible lineup of artists lined up for you this evening, and we just can't wait to share them and their work with you.
Just before we get started, we wanted to provide a quick visual description of ourselves. I am a young white woman with red hair and blue eyes. I am wearing a black and white striped shirt, a purple jacket, and I am on the right-hand side of the screen next to Nathan in front of a green background.
And I am a young white man with light brown hair, blue eyes, and I am wearing a blue cable knit sweater over top of a gray button-up shirt with collars. And I am on the left-hand side of the screen in front of the same dark green background.
We also have two ASL English interpreters working with us this evening. Amanda is a white woman with long faded red and purple COVID hair tied up in a bun. She is wearing a black shirt and black rimmed glasses and is sitting in front of a solid turquoise background.
Later, Dave will join us, who is a white man with short, wavy blonde hair, blue eyes, and he is sitting in front of a black background. He is wearing a black shirt.
We also wanted to let you know that captions are provided and accessible on our website and YouTube by pressing the closed captions button at the bottom right of your screen. We'll also be having a 10-minute intermission approximately an hour and 15 minutes into tonight's event.
Now, before we begin tonight's event, we would like to take a moment to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 13A 1805 territory, the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, the Attawandaron, the Huron-Wendat, the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Mississauga. This territory is within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to create, learn, and live on this land, and by doing so, give our respect to its first inhabitants.
Indigenous people continue to be pushed aside. Colonialism is a current ongoing process, and as white settlers, we would like to take this opportunity to commit ourselves to the struggle against the systems of oppression that have dispossessed Indigenous people of their lands, denied their rights to self-determination, failed to provide safe and clean drinking water to their communities, and neglected to address the crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls.
As we have artists and audience members joining us from across the globe, we invite and encourage you to take a moment to reflect on these systemic connections and the lands that you are personally joining us from this evening.
The Disability Collective recognizes that the struggle for Indigenous rights is connected to all human rights work, and it is a privilege to be gathered today to continue the fight for equity and justice for all people.
We also wanted to take a moment to introduce the Disability Collective and share a little bit about what we do. The Disability Collective is a community of disabled artists and creators who are dedicated to celebrating and showcasing disability in the arts.
TDC strives to destigmatize disability and challenge perceptions of what disability looks like through promoting disabled artists in a variety of forms, including live performances, virtual showcases, visual art shows, readings, and more. We believe that disability can be defined in many ways, including physical impairments, mental health conditions, emotional disabilities, sensory disabilities, cognitive challenges, and chronic illnesses.
We believe that disability provides a unique perspective that deserves to be shared. 1 billion people, or 15% of the world's population, undergo some sort of disability throughout their life. Disabled folks are more likely to experience adverse socioeconomic outcomes, such as less education, poorer health conditions, lower rates of employment, and higher poverty rates.
We recognize that disability has a compounded impact on those at the intersection of other marginalized communities, such as Black, Indigenous, and 2 LGBTQIA+ communities, people of color, women and femmes, fat people, religious minorities, and more. The Disability Collective seeks to empower disabled folks from all communities and to break down boundaries and stereotypes of what it means to be disabled.
We also wanted to take a moment to remind you that tonight is a fundraiser and we are accepting donations through our GoFundMe. You can donate by heading to thedisabilitycollective.com/donate. Every single dollar that we raise this evening is going directly towards the artist who we are about to share with you. So if you like what you see, please consider making a donation.
And now, let's get on with the show. Our first performance of the evening is by the incredible Vanessa Cruz.
Hello everyone, my name is Vanessa Cruz, pronouns she, her, hers. I'm going to go ahead and provide a brief image description. I'm a Mexican-American woman. I have brown skin. I am wearing light makeup with red lipstick. I have Thunderbolt earrings that are neon green, as well as a black shirt. My background is of a white wall with white blinds. I am very excited to be here. I am a physically disabled dancer, choreographer, filmmaker, artist, and poet. Additionally, I am an activist as well. I am very happy to present my work for you all. This piece is titled Cascading Veins. Cascading Veins is a dance film that was inspired by the idea of crip time and what that means for me as a dancer, as a disabled dancer. And I wanted to play on the aesthetics of how dreams look like. So it's very much abstract, but dealing with those themes of crip time and dreams. I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for your support.
Don't you just wish? Dream. Dream. Don't you just wish?
What an amazing performance by Vanessa, and we are obsessed with the work she is doing and the message she is promoting.
If you want to check out more of Vanessa's work, you can visit her website, galaxiesdance.info, and be sure to head to thedisabilitycollective.com/program to learn more about all artists involved in the show tonight.
Our next performer is joining us live from England. Please welcome Nikki Charlesworth.
Oh, hello. Can you all see me? I can't see myself, but I'll assume that you can see me. My name is Nikki Charlesworth. I'm from the UK. My pronouns are she, her. My sign name is Nikki. I am a white woman. I have brown hair, which is tied up, and I'm wearing a multicolored crochet jumper. I'm just going to check why you can't see me. Why? Very well. Apologies, I will keep going. So as I initially said, my name is Nikki Charlesworth. I am from the UK. I am a theatre designer and puppeteer. I initially trained at Nottingham Trent University, which is in the East Midlands region of the UK. In my professional career, I have worked for a theatre company called Grey Eye Theatre Company, and they are a disability-led theatre organisation who boldly present disabled people centre stage. And just through working for them, I learned about what is called the aesthetics of access, which is where accessibility is embedded into the heart of the theatrical process, rather than just an add-on, and it is used to create extra depth and meaning, and is a way of celebrating the richness that accessibility can provide to the artistic process and outcome. So from my journey, I have created the piece that I am showcasing today. It's called What Happened to You? It's a puppet show, an outdoor puppet show, which has recently, very excitedly, received funding to tour the UK this summer. So if any of you are in the UK, come and see, come and give us a watch. And so What Happened to You? It's a semi-autobiographical puppet show in which I challenge everything that I was ever taught in puppetry. I was taught that a puppet moves one certain way and that if it moves differently to that, it is wrong. But I wanted to challenge this and to create puppets that moved the way that I moved. And to help me with this, I use my orthotics in the puppets, the orthotics that I wore as a child that were given to me by our National Health Service. So the piece has double meaning as well. It's a way of also saying thanks to the healthcare that I was gifted as a young child. So yes, if you have any questions, please do direct them to the YouTube chat or the Facebook chat. I would love to engage in conversation and to hear your thoughts. So what you're about to see is a sort of trailer for the show where I expand more on what the show is, what it is about, and the puppets. You can see photos and parts of the process. So without further ado, here is What Happened to You? What Happened to You is a groundbreaking exploration of puppetry and disability which challenges the fundamental laws of traditional puppetry. Semi-autobiographical, the idea came from a frustration over the lack of accessible puppetry training. I was taught there is one correct way a puppet moves and came to believe that anything moving differently was wrong. I wanted to see the way I moved represented. A unique exploration of puppetry, disability and mechanics. What Happened to You challenges the core structural design of the human puppet, which is taught and practiced. The story follows three raggedy puppets who are just trying to get through the day. However, ahead of them lies a mountain of challenges. They have to overcome these challenges through perseverance and creativity. Explored through play, elements of humour and frustration come to light. The overarching theme is that with the removal of these barriers comes success, with performance promoting the social model of disability.
Reviewers say, beautiful! Performed with charm and sensitivity. Great use of puppetry. Thank you for watching. Nikki is amazing. We're so sorry for those technical difficulties, folks. But we are so thrilled that we could present her video for you tonight. We love what she's doing and how her work is able to reach folks of all ages.
If you want to learn more about Nikki, go and check her out on Instagram at nikki.charlesworth. And if you're enjoying what you are seeing so far tonight, don't forget to head to thedisabilitycollective.com/donate to donate to our GoFundMe campaign.
Now, we are so excited to introduce Keezy Whitlow, an amazing culinary artist. Keezy is an award-winning chef who fell in love with cooking as a child. She was further inspired by her grandmother's kitchen garden and many local herbs grown there. Years later, her dream was realized when she became a chef.
How enjoyable this process had been until she was deemed disabled due to an agonizing condition. Since then, Keezy has ventured into entrepreneurship, starting her own business, Keezy's Spices, where she aims to add to or enhance the flavor of our food. Let's welcome Keezy.
Hello. Thank you for allowing me to participate. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, thank you for allowing me to participate. I am an African American. My pronouns are she, her. Tonight, I'm wearing a silver sweater with silver jewelry, and my hair is braided. I decided recently to share about my disability and my life. I'm passionate about cooking and being a chef, but I have some limits due to my disability. Now I use that to fuel my drive to continue. It is important to have patience with people because you never know what they're going through. Again, thank you for allowing me to participate in this wonderful event. Now,
A quick video showing Keezy making sweet potato gnocchi. Now Keezy is making banana bread. First, she takes 3 ripe bananas, peels them, and then mashes them until smooth. She adds 3/4 cups of melted butter and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Next, she adds a pinch of salt and a teaspoon of cinnamon. She mixes that together before adding 1/2 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1.5 cups of flour. She mixes everything together. Next, Keezy butters a baking pan and then pours the banana bread batter into the baking pan. Keezy bakes the banana bread at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 50 minutes, then lets the bread cool for 5 minutes before she takes it out of the pan. Keezy then cuts and serves the banana bread. The banana bread looks absolutely delicious as she displays it on a wooden platter. Next, Keezy is making salmon with mango salsa. First, she seasons the salmon and sets it aside. Now it's time to make mango salsa. She dices about 1/2 cup of tomatoes and 1/2 cup of red onions. She chops 2 tablespoons of cilantro and dices 1 medium mango. Next, she dices 1 habanero pepper, and then she mixes all the ingredients together to make the salsa. Next, Keezy is adding butter to a skillet and placing the salmon in the pan skin side up. She cooks the salmon for 8 to 10 minutes on both sides. She takes the salmon out of the pan and adds the mango salsa on top. The salmon and mango salsa looks divine as she displays it on a white square plate. Oh my goodness. Watching that video made me seriously hungry. We love Kizzy so much, and we're honored that she was able to join us tonight.
If you want to learn more about Kizzy, check her out on Instagram at CookingDiva85. And don't forget to purchase her spices at KizzySpices.com. Next, we are so excited to welcome Marcia Ramos, who is going to be sharing a piece of nonfiction with us. We do want to provide a context warning that there is mention of an eating disorder. Please welcome Marcia.
Hi everyone, I'm Marcia and I'm a 28-year-old Latina woman with honey-colored eyes and long light brown hair. I'm wearing a black sleeveless shirt. I live in Rio, and tonight I'll be reading a memoir piece I wrote about my eating disorder and my relationship with one of the people I love the most. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for being here. The bakery. The house smells like a recently opened bakery at 7 a.m. The kitchen is too small to confine the scent that boldly bursts through the open door into the living room, making its way through the hallway and into all 4 rooms. It waves its wand, casts its spell, and charms everyone out of their rooms. They appear to be floating weightlessly, almost as if hypnotized, sleepwalking their way into one shared space. It's the power of baking. It brings us all together. Faith comes in many shapes, and it can be found in places we least expect. Some seek their faith in church and devote themselves to a Sunday Mass or prayer. I'm not religious, but I found a faith I am never willing to let go of. Saturday mornings are my sacred ritual. My temple is my great aunt's home. My priest, my confidant is she, Mana. My Bible is my family's recipe notebook, and my prayer is the list of ingredients of the day. With Mana, I find my faith in mindfully baking our way through the recipe notebook, carefully written by hand. Each page tells me a secret, reminds me of a special feast, and introduces me to people from the past who continue to live through that notebook. Each page has its almighty lesson that I will carry with me to grow inside, to be someone better, to have a fulfilling life. There is no sacramental bread in our temple, but each week we put into our mouths a different prayer. Sometimes we leave the oven on for too long, or sometimes we knock into the bowl 1 too many cups of sugar. Regardless of the outcome of the recipe, it's always heavenly. This one tastes like a crispy sugar crust that bursts with a pop at the top of your palate. The sweet bread is not too dry and neither too soaked. It's perfectly moist. No matter what, our food will always taste like a symphony in perfect tune. Why? Because of the maestro. Mana has the most illuminated smile and the warmest of hugs. She gives herself fully without ever expecting anything back from anyone. She has the divine ability to grasp the most thorny and grayish day and swipe it all away. She will take a bucket and spill it on you, splattering all the colors inside it and giving you a rainbow. She's my great aunt, my priest, my confidant, my fairy godmother. But not even my superwoman can beat the monster. It doesn't have 7 heads, it's not 40 feet tall, not even green, nor does it have snake-like skin. In fact, you can't even see that monster, and neither can I, but I can certainly feel it, and I know it lives. Our Saturday tradition was broken by bulimia, shattered into pieces, splattered on the floor, tiny bits all over, untraceable crumbs, invisible, gone. How do you whisper your secret to that sweet, selfless lady without hurting her? How do you tell Mana that the delicious recipes you've carefully prepared together during the last few weeks have all been deliberately dragged up your throat and cruelly flushed down the toilet? Just like that. How do you get away from the long-awaited Saturday mornings? Is it easier to just walk away and creatively come up with different excuses every 7 days? You'll either be hosting a friend visiting Rio, have a load of exams to study for, be sick, travel, or God knows what. No, it's a lot fucking harder. It smashes her heart. No, you smash her heart. You rip it out, throw it on the floor, and jump on it with heavy, warlike boots. I don't know why I'm not honest with her. She knows what I have. I've never hidden my eating disorder from anyone. But for some reason, within my family, it's an unspoken truth. So I don't know how much she knows. I'm afraid that this truth might do more damage. She would certainly be the first one to put on her heavy armor, helmet and all, pull out her sword, and bravely go after the monster. But to go to war with that monster, she would have to struggle through the darkest and most haunting of forests, me. And I fear she would fail. I cannot let her fail. So I keep this a secret from her, and our Saturdays are now merely nostalgia. The fresh perfume of sugar is fading. You can barely smell it anymore. Our favorite bakery is closing, not for the night, but for good. There's a big sign on the door painted in red capital letters, sold. It's the power of bulimia. It tears us all apart. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marcia, for sharing your beautiful work and your beautiful story with us. If you want to check out more of Marcia, you can follow her on Instagram at marcia.brunolobo. And don't forget, if we are enjoying tonight's show, please head to thedisabilitycollective.com/donate, where you can donate to our GoFundMe campaign.
The Disability Collective strongly believes that disability can be defined in many ways, which is why we are so proud to share these incredible artists and their diverse stories with you. And we are so excited to share our next artist, Texta Queen, who joins us all the way from Australia.
Welcome, Texta Queen.
Hi, I'm Texta Queen. I'm on Wurundjeri and Woiwurrung land, so-called Melbourne, Australia. I have medium brown skin and black layered hair with a little bit of grey, and I'm wearing a peach and black patterned shirt. My pronouns are they and them. I'm going to share with you today a colouring book, alphabet book that I made, and it is I made it to raise funds for an artist residency that I'm doing for queer and trans, Black, Indigenous, and people of colour, with a focus on artists with disabilities in my shopfront studio here in Collingwood in Melbourne. So I am going to show you the book and explain each page and read from the glossary that I did very simply, accessibly for kids, explaining each of the things. So it's an alphabet book, but it doesn't teach you the alphabet. It rewrites it as acronyms of resistance. So here we go. This is the cover. Learn your ACABs. And it has little musical notes at the bottom. ACAB. So it's a picture of a donut with a worm coming out, a line drawing, and that says ACAB on it. And my explanation was, all cops are bad, defund the police. Why can't that money be put into communities where it is needed? Community support can prevent harm and help people heal from conflict when it happens. I'd rather talk to my neighbour than turn to a cop. This one says FTP. So that was part of the description too. So it was like ACABFTP, and it's a line drawing in a kind of 60s cartoon style of a police car in flames with the letters FTP in the flames and some flowers in the background, some 60s flowers. No more prisons and slavery. And it's a picture of the words I just sung coming out of some bars with bricks around it and two chameleons on either side. And I wrote, prisons treat people as less than human. Many Black and Indigenous people are locked up after having less power and choices in the world than others and being targeted by police. Corporations and governments profit from prisons by having prisoners make products for very low pay. H.I. Jack, patriarchy. It's a picture of a high heel stomping down and on the word patriarchy with the other letters on the heel. And it says, the glossary says, we live in a system that gives men power over women that needs to be challenged with what Kimberly Crenshaw named intersectional feminism. This means breaking down all hierarchies that give power to some people over others based on race, class, gender, sexuality, etc. Okay, it's time for First Nation sovereignty. Natalie Crom, a Gamma-Ray woman. Oh, and the picture is the Aboriginal flag makes up the O from the OK, and then under it, it says it's time for First Nation sovereignty with a whole lot of teardrops and lightning bolts in the background. Natalie Crom, a Gamma-Ray woman, writes, Indigenous sovereignty is about acknowledgement of our role as custodians of this land since time immemorial and caring for our land and communities. indigenous.x.com.au. BLM has gone worldwide, and it's a picture of Breonna Taylor on a horse in Oakland with her fist in the air and a little sign saying BLM on the horse's flank. Black Lives Matter, now a global movement, was started by 3 Black women, Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and April Tometi. BLM was this police violence towards Black people and aims for Black liberation. Oh, and correction, that was a picture of Brianna Noble at not Breonna Taylor. I got them confused. My batch of one. We won't celebrate genocide, and it's a picture of a statue being dumped into the river in Bristol by a bunch of people. Why honor statues of people who have taken other people's land, lives, cultures, and humanity? QTIBIPOC. Queer, trans, and intersex, Black, Indigenous, and people of colour create magic every day. Here we are, the narwhal, real-life unicorn of the sea. Let's destroy white supremacy. And it's a picture of a broken milk bottle spilt on some tiles, and the words are inside the spilt milk. Don't cry over spilled privilege. Let's tumble this world's systems that give power to whiteness, that feed racism which divides us from one another. XXXY, don't define me. It's some exploding gender reveal balloons coming out of boxes in a backyard, and the XX and XY are exploding out of the balloons. When I was born, the doctors looked at my body and chose female for my birth certificate, usually meaning that a person has XX chromosomes in their body. When doctors write male, it's usually for people with XY, though some people have both XX and XY. Whatever my certificate or chromosomes show, and whatever my body looks like, I get to decide the genders that I feel, what I wear, and how I show myself to the world. X. Why can't you be cripple crazy? Everyone has different bodies and brains, all deserve to be completely cherished. Disability justice means access and care for all disabled people by our communities and by governments. Some of us call ourselves CRIP. Beauty is in everybody. I don't want the size and shape of my body to affect how I feel about myself and my value as a person to others. I don't have to understand all bodies to accept and appreciate all bodies. My body is my business. Your body is your business. Now I know my ACABs. Won't you burn the flag with me? I live on land. Oh, the pictures are the letters ACAB is in individual signs being held up by hands, and with the Now I Know My in a bigger banner at the top with a city in the background. And the other picture, Won't You Burn the Flag with Me, is inside it's inside a big flame that's burning a flag with more flames in the background. I live on lands that were stolen by the British from the Wurundjeri and Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nation. The Australian flag is a symbol of the ongoing injustices against First Nations people across this continent, so-called Australia. And that is Learn Your ACABs. If you'd like to keep following what's happening with the residency, I'm on social media as @TexterQueen and @BaitSalon. Thank you.
Wow. Isn't Text a Queen just amazing? Their work is so powerful and important, and we were so thrilled to have Texta join us this evening.
And as Texta mentioned, you can find them on Instagram @TextaQueen. You can also buy the book if you would like at textaqueen.com. Our next artist is an amazingly talented painter. Please welcome Lori Landry.
Hello, hello. It's a different time here.
Okay.
Okay. So my name is Lori, and my last name is Landry, Lori Landry. I am a woman with brown curly hair. I'm wearing glasses. I am a white woman, and I'm wearing a purple shirt. My sign name is this. It's an L down the palm because I'm an artist, so it looks like the sign for artist. I learned to read lips, and I also speak, as well as I sign English and American Sign Language. I started working professionally as an artist probably about 6-7 years ago. And I paint a variety of different things. I've painted landscapes, still lives, and I have a focus on people. I recently got a grant through the Canada Council for my art. Specifically, I'm painting deaf individuals who are signing their favorite word. And my vision is really based on kind of my experience with the deaf community, and that really feeds into what I do. So I am part of the deaf community and the disability community, and I represent that in my work. I love painting. I love drawing. Some of the painters that have really inspired me are Rembrandt, Velázquez. Another artist I love is Jenny Saville, and also Amy Sherald. So when we think about our present day and drawing what we see, often I think what we see people represented who are young, they're thin, they're white, they're able-bodied women, or we see sort of older white men, CEOs, very powerful, but we see certain types of people represented a lot. And then there are a lot of people that are missing from that. And I like to think that 100 years from now, if someone were to find my work and my paintings, it would let them know about the diversity of the society that we live in. They would see deaf individuals, hard of hearing people, quite a diverse amount of people represented in my work. And I think at that point, people would get a good sense of who I live with, who's in my world at this time. I also think my work is a good commentary on accessibility. And I'm trying to make my way, find my place in history, and also kind of make the point that we're here and we will always be here as deaf and disabled individuals. So my film is going to show you my studio. I hope you enjoy the film.
Welcome to my studio. I like chaos, especially when I'm working on a deep body work. So right now it's kind of messy, but that's how I do it. when I finish my body work, then I actually take the time to clean up and reorganize everything. But for now it's just a mess. But it's a creative chaos mess. Right now I'm working on two different body of work. One is called Deafys, and the other one is called Audiometric. The two completely different series, but they both connect with each other in a way that I'll get into it in a minute. The Deafys that I'm working on is a portrait series, and what I'm doing is I'm creating portraits of deafblind and deaf plus people that come into my studio, or we go online and for a photography session where I would take photographs of them and take a video of them as they talk about themselves, and then we pick a sign and we choose a word, a motto, or a phrase that they like the most, and use it to sign, and they would sign that phrase, and then I would try and recreate that on the canvas. So the first one that I started that became a series of work is my deaf portrait here. It's me saying deaf. And for me, it's a way of identifying myself, claiming that identity, because when I was growing up, I was mainstream, and I didn't really like a part of the deaf community because I didn't know anyone. And then for most of my childhood life, I lived in the hearing world, and it's only recently that I started to explore the deaf community, meet other people within the deaf community, and learn how to sign. And so my ASL is not very good at the moment, but I am learning. And I meet other people. So it's an ongoing process, both in my personal life and professionally. And it's a journey that I really am enjoying at the moment. So this is called Deafys. And then when I met with people to come and sit for me, we would go to, so here's one, this one is Dora, and this one is a focus on the name tag that people in the deaf community have. And so I chose to use Dora because it captures her personality. Her name is Dora, and it captures her personality, and I wanted to put that on canvas. In the lead up, preliminary sketches, I had a man named Craig come in, and he's deafblind. This is just a preliminary sketches. And then I had a black camera woman from Toronto. We get it online, and I do some sketches online. These are, again, preliminary sketches. And then over here is Nikki. She is an indigenous black woman that lives in Victoria. And she is sounding confident, because that's her favorite word, confident. She is strong, confident woman. So she was coming to the studio in Victoria, and we take photographs of her, and we do some preliminary sketches. So this is a study. So I would do a study first, and just to get the feel of it, and feel of the colors and the motions and everything, and then the final painting. With confidence. And I'm working on a big painting right now. So it's about 32 inches high and 72 inches wide. So I'm doing time by it so you can get the idea of the scale. Kind of hard to tell from the camera. But, you know. This is AJ. This is a guest dress, big dress. Plus, I can't remember what she called it, but it's similar to cerebral palsy. So it reads like cerebral palsy to people. And to the ACP. So her favorite word is play. I think a sense of play, being playful, not to be serious all the time. So play. And so I decided to have her do it 3 times because I wanted to capture the expressions on the face, the playful, joyous expressions on the face. And it's also very part of the language, the ASL language. Like, it's not just about using your hands, it's also about using the facial expression. So when people sign, you will see the face being very animated. So I wanted to capture that. So this is a little bit different in terms of not doing the motion of the hand, but rather copying the face. And this is a study. If I'm not sure about something, I try it out on that one. But I'm pretty confident with this one.
Thank you so much, Lori. We absolutely love your work.
It's true. Nathan wants to buy all of Lori's paintings.
It is true.
If you want to learn more about Lori, please visit her website, lorilandry.com.
All right, folks, we have one more artist joining us before intermission. Please welcome live Ali Hand.
Hello, friends.
How are you doing?
I'm so good. I'm loving the show.
Aw, thanks.
We're so lucky to have so many incredible artists, including you. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Of course. So hello, my name is Ali Hand. My pronouns are she, her. I am a white woman with blue eyes and long blonde curly hair. I'm in front of a dark blue little background here. And yeah, I'm a Toronto-based musical theater performer, and I have ocular albinism, which means I have low vision.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
All right, and you're going to be singing for us tonight. Do you want to tell us a little bit about why you chose this song and sort of your journey that led you to joining us here tonight?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to be singing Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame. This was probably the first thing that I had seen on stage where the person playing the lead wasn't a perfectly abled human being. And it kind of was a big wake-up call for me when I realized that not only did he tell the story just as well, the incredible John McKenty, who is a really wonderful deaf actor, but not only did he tell the story incredibly well, but it added so much to the world and so much to the story and who that character is. So that kind of started my journey of self-acceptance and now disability advocacy that I am striving to do in this industry. Yeah. these windows and these parapets of stone, gazing at the people down below me. All my life I watch them as I hide up here alone, hungry for the histories they show me. All my life I memorize their faces, knowing them as they have never known me. All my life I wonder how it feels to pass the day not above them, but part of them. And out there, living in the sun, give me one day out there. All I ask is one to hold forever. Out there where they all live unaware, what I'd give, what I'd dare, just to live one day out there. Out there among the millers and the weavers and their wives, through the roofs and gables I can see them. Every day they shout and scold and go about their lives, heedless of the gift it is to be them. If I were in their skin, I'd treasure every instant out there, strolling by the Seine. Taste a morning out there, like ordinary men who freely walk about there just one day, and then I swear I'll be content with my share. Won't resent, won't despair, old and bent, I won't care. I'll have spent one day out there.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Allie, for sharing your story and your amazing voice with all of us tonight. If you want to learn more about Allie, you can go to her website, alliehand.net.
All right, folks, we're just coming up to our intermission, but before we take our break, we wanted to let you know that our last performance this evening is a musical improv performer, and he will be creating a song based on a suggestion from you, our audience. So during the next 10 minutes, please take a moment to input a suggestion in the comments section, either on YouTube or Facebook.
All right, everyone, we're going to take a 10-minute intermission, refill your drinks, grab a snack, run to the washroom, and now is an especially great time to donate to our GoFundMe. Remember, all you have to do is head to thedisabilitycollective.com/donate.
All right, everyone, we will see you in 10 minutes.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you had a great break. We wanted to thank everyone who has donated to our GoFundMe so far. We have raised $2,590, which is amazing.
Wow.
Can we get to 2,700? Maybe
Ooh.
even more? Keep donating and sharing that link.
All right, everyone. We are so excited to continue showcasing our incredible artists this evening. We're starting off the second act with Andrew Howland Hewley, an amazing musician. Andrew has been a drummer for over 20 years, playing all sorts of music in all kinds of venues, from festivals in Shanghai and New York to illegal DIY shows under train tracks.
Andrew has a guiding belief that there is no right or wrong way to create art, and that as disabled folks, we are always finding our own ways of doing, being, making, and creating.
Ordinarily, when I go on stage, I'm already geared up. Ordinarily, you might not notice my limb differences. Thanks for the chance to get real. Thank you. It means so much to me to share the stage with everyone in this showcase. Written, performed, recorded, Andrew Howlin Hewley. Special thanks to the Disability Collective, my neighbors, sorry, all my disabled sisters, brothers, siblings, and you for being here. Here's to Crip joy, Crip excellence, and Crip realness. Much love.
Andrew is so talented. We are obsessed with his work and are so honored to have him as part of our showcase tonight. Now, if you want to check out more of Andrew's music, you can head to howlinhewley.bandcamp.com and follow him on Instagram at howlin_Hewley.
Our next artist has an amazing story. Tonight, she is sharing an excerpt from her soundscape, Able to Disabled. Here is Kim Kitchen.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is, to be gathered with so many extraordinary humans, this is really wonderful. I want to begin by acknowledging that I am a settler living on the traditional territory of the Nipissing First Nation, Anishinaabe. This territory covered by the Robinson-Huron and Upper Canada treaties. And as a settler, I am deeply grateful to call this home. And I'm committed to individual and collective efforts to ensure truth and reconciliation for First Nation peoples to be a priority. I give thanks to all generations, the stewards, the water protectors, all who for thousands of years have taken care of the earth and her beings. Tonight and participating in this, it feels, from my own experience, it's about finding a new way, a new path. Just really coming from a place of, where one day everything was going along just fine, and then disability happened, and that process in itself takes lots of time to move through the grief and the loss and all that changes in our landscape, in the relationships with those we love, with our family members, with our children, with our community and friends. Everything really did change for me. And, it was about configuration, finding new ways. Once I got back on a path that felt stable, where I could create once again. I've worked for many years full-time at my art practice, sculpture, painting, performance work. And after my illness, I really had to find art form, mediums that were conducive to now my capacity, which has changed greatly. And I like to think that, this new work that I'm putting out into the world, it has given me great purpose and a delight because of all the people that I'm meeting who are also living at, creating potential. And that's really what it feels like, is that I'm once again working at my potential. I am delighted to share with you a piece of my spoken word soundscape this evening. And it sits and resides on my website, so it's accessible for all those that can visit that site and listen to it when it's convenient for you. Thank you very much, Emily and Nathan. Well done. Just beautiful. Thank you for having me. made me very aware as we looked through my past work, bodies of work, exhibition work. I've always touched on transformation in the natural world, this process that is going on all the time that we don't, see. I mean, it can be bacteria that is there, alive and doing its task, and then it transforms into fungi, lichen that is crunchy and faintly gray on rock surface, and it rains and it becomes this amazing green and alive and soft and malleable. The bush, the rock, the Great Mother, the waters, it's all I see. It's in my DNA. That is me. That is exactly the process that I'm going through. It's funny, I think I don't talk enough about, the difficulties, the everyday difficulties. I know it's my nature. It's my nature just to be like, okay, well, let's just make the best out of this. You wake up in the morning and you think, maybe this is the day. This is the day that I'm going to return to how I was. And like I said, I really try not to spend a lot of time on that because there's just no need. But it does enter at times where I'm just like, wow. The idea, the remembering that I could multitask and really accomplish so much in a day. And that doesn't mean that I'm, I feel totally worthy of being exactly where I am. It's okay. It's all okay. It's like a memory of who I was, that I really did do all that I could get up at 5 and paint and lay down my best work from 5 until 8 in the morning, and then carry on from there, doing many other things. But yesterday, on a gorgeous fall day, Perry figures we strolled about 2 kilometers, slow, stopping and gazing, and I was taking photos. But that I walked that far was just pretty spectacular. In the bush, smelling all that beautiful transformation going on right now.
She is so much more than this. Do you know what her name is? She's in tune with the waxing and waning moon. Seeds spread out from the darkness of her womb. She is so much more than this. Do you know what her name is? She is free to be and moves with the flow. Sees the beauty everywhere she goes. Can you see her?
We absolutely love Kim's work and are so grateful that Kim shared that excerpt with us this evening. If you want to learn more about Kim, don't hesitate to visit her website, kimkitcheninthestudio.com.
And if you enjoyed Kim's piece, keep an eye out on thedisabilitycollective.com because we are planning to do a full screening of Able to Disabled and have a discussion of her piece as well. Subscribe to our mailing list if you want to receive updates.
Now, our next artist is the incredibly talented Danielle Hyde. Danielle is a multidisciplinary Indigenous artist whose work blends traditional with non-traditional mediums, painting and photography with public art and performance. Central to their practice is the fundamental generosity and agency of art.
The art comes from this interconnected place that acknowledges all the relationships involved. The process is a challenge to colonial ideas of mastery, ownership, and treating land or people as property. Danielle works to humanize mental wellness, dismantle barriers to wellness, and extend the scope of what we imagine wellness to mean to include relationships with all beings and ecology.
Thank you so much, Danielle, for sharing your beautiful work with us tonight.
Our next artist is the incredible Eric Dallinger. Eric is a dyslexic actor, dancer, and choreographer located in Southern Ontario. As a child, Eric used dance as a way to escape the challenges school gave him. Eric is also a dance educator and hopes to inspire kids to love dance and use it to bring them joy in the dark times.
Please welcome Eric.
시리도록 푸른 하늘 아래는 더 흠뻑 쏟아지는 햇살이 날 어지럽게 해 한껏 숨이 차오르고 심장은 뛰어 No 느껴져 너무 쉽게 살아있다는 걸 우리가 아니어도 슬픔이나 지워도 먹구름은 또 뛰고 나 끝없는 꿈속이었고 한없이 구겨지고 날개는 찢겨지고 언젠가 내가 아니게 된다지어도 괜찮아 오직 나만이 나의 구원이잖아 못된 걸음걸이로 절대 죽지 않고 살아 How you doing? I'm fine 내 하루는 맑아 모든 아픔들이여 say goodbye 차가운 내 심장은 널 부르는 법을 잊었지만 외롭지 않는 걸 괜찮아 깜깜한 밤 어둠을 찾는 꿈을 흔들어놓지만 두렵지 않은 걸 괜찮아 I'm feeling just fine 이제 나의 손을 놓을게 I know I'm on mine Cause I'm just fine I'm feeling just fine 더 이상은 슬프지 않을래 I could see the sunshine shine Cause I'm just fine
Hey, whole world I'm just fine 내 아픔 다 이겨낼 수 있어 너 없이 나 I'm just fine 걱정 마 이제 웃을 수 있고 네 목소리를 모두 알아주니까 I'm so fine, you so fine 슬픔과 상처를 모두 다 이미 지나가 두목에 대하세니 웃음에 만나주자고 We so fine, I'm so fine, you so fine 우리들 미래는 기쁨만 가득할 테니 걱정을 접어둔 채 이제 즐겨 수고했어
차가운 내 심장은 널 부르는 법을 잊었지만 외롭지 않은 걸 괜찮아 깜깜한 밤 어둠을 찾는 꿈을 흔들어 놓지만 두렵지 않은 걸 괜찮아 I'm feeling just fine 이제 너의 손을 놓을게 I know I'm on mine Cause I'm just fine I'm feeling just fine 더 이상은 슬프지 않은데 I could see the sunshine Cause I'm just fine 혹시 너에게도 보일까 세상은 달빛이 너에게도 들릴까 희미한 메리가 I'm feeling just fine 혼자서라도 외쳐보겠어 내 소리들이 안 모네 주말에 걸어 I'm feeling just fine 몇 번이라도 되뇌보겠어 또다시 쓰러질 때도 난 괜찮아 I'm feeling just fine 혼자서라도 외쳐보겠어 뒷부리들이 안 모네 주말에 걸어 I'm feeling just fine 몇 번이라도 되뇌보겠어 또다시 쓰러질 때도 난 괜찮아 I'm fine
That was so much fun. Thank you so much, Eric. To see more of Eric, follow him on Instagram at EricDance42.
We are so thrilled to share and introduce our next performer, an incredible singer and songwriter from Prince Edward Island, Melissa Mackenzie. Melissa is a performer, creator, and activist who is trying to figure out how to build a life around storytelling, menstrual equity, and loving other humans, while also managing shifting understanding of her body's limitations.
Performing an original song titled Out Here, a tune she wrote upon coming home to PEI and reminiscing on nights on the smoking deck at a dive bar called Baba's. Here is Melissa.
Smoke. A hit of a J is okay to my mother's dismay, but I don't really smoke. Too many lectures and tar in my lungs, but still I come out here. I come out here. The quiet is nice. Not really the point of a bar. Alone in the dark, but the quiet is nice. The only place here I can hear myself think. It's why I come out here. I come out here. A breath of fresh air and avoiding the stare of my brother's ex-girlfriend's new fling. I pray that I won't have to say that I don't have a clue what the fuck I'm doing. Conversing in rounds and my head starts to pound. Will I ever know anything new when this is all we do? I've gotta get out of here. I still call it home. This little town I've grown where I'll never be known will always be home. But I know there's more that I must see and do. It's more than just out here. It's bigger than out here. Just go back inside, take a shot, try to fight. You're not fine with the way that things are. One day I will know how it feels to show who I am once I'm out of this goddamn bar. I'll lie, wish goodbye, or at least I will try. I promise I'll find something new. This won't be all I do. One day I'll get out of here. And out there, I know it's a gamble, a risk I am willing to take. What's at stake is the woman I know I could be. I have to set me free. I'd kill for a smoke. The fear of dying alone makes me nicotine prone, but I don't really smoke. All that I want is a woman to love, and I'd take her out here. I'd love to be out here. I have to come out.
Wow. Not only is Melissa an amazing singer, but as we all saw tonight, she's an incredible songwriter. We are so thrilled to have Melissa join us this evening. If you want to learn more about Melissa, visit her website, melissamckens.com.
And remember, if you are enjoying the show tonight, please consider donating to our GoFundMe, which you can find at thedisabilitycollective.com/donate.
Next up, we have an incredibly unique visual artist, Asma Sultana.
Asma is a Bangladeshi-born British freelance visual artist currently living and working in Canada. Asma uses the unique signature of her body to explore identity in time and place.
With the tips of her fingers, using her hair and footprints, she imprints her emotions onto different surfaces to express the inimitable chaos of her inner and outer worlds.
Asma Sultana, visual artist. I tried to leave you, too. Artist's hair and used hairbrush. Only pain can heal pain. Used hairbrush and needles. I tried to leave you. 1. Artist's hair and used hairbrush. I tried to leave you. 3. Artist's hair and used hairbrush. I am too tired to quit. Artist's hair and used toothbrush. Before real. 1. Used hairbrush, nails, ink, and marker. Before real. 2. Used back scrubber and nails. A lifetime passes before a sigh. 3. A lifetime passes before a sigh. 2. Artist's hair and used paintbrush. A lifetime passes before a sigh. 1. Artist's hair and used paintbrush. Unlucky 13. Artist's hair and used hairbrush. April comes, she will. Artist's hair and used back scrubber. Letter to my unborn child. Mixed media. Letter to my unborn child. Artist's hair and fabric. Alchemy of losses. Artist's hair and fabric. A gallery view with Asma standing to the right. An exhibition view. Letter to my unborn child. Artist's hair and fabric. Letter to my unborn child. Artist's hair and fabric. Wherever the glimpse of a free spirit exists, that will be my home. Artist's hair, fabric, and sari. Forget me not. Artist's hair and fabric. My baby is growing outside of my body, close up. Artist's hair and fabric. Self-portrait. Artist's hair and fabric. Words have wings. Artist's hair and fabric. Words have wings. Color palettes. Burning. I want to go home, but I do not know where my home is. Found object, spray paint. Article 57, knitted scarf with organic jute rope. Death of Orpheus, artist's hair and fabric. Portrait sewed with artist's hair. A gallery view. Made in Bangladesh, artist's hair and used underwear. Asma standing next to her work. Kokoro 4, artist's hair and canvas. The Fallen, artist's hair, organic leaf, burning. Exhibition view. Bedtime stories, artist's hair, and needles. Words have wings, photography. Scream, thumbprints, ink on paper. We, thumbprints, ink on paper. Asma Sultana at work. Words have wings, photography. Constellationscape, installation view.
It's truly incredible how Asma is able to create such unique and intricate pieces using materials like her own hair. That's really creative. If you want to learn more about Asma, visit her website, asmasultana.co.
Next up, we have a very special performance for you. This piece is being premiered for the very first time live tonight as a co-presentation with the Skeleton Park Arts Festival. Please welcome the amazing Erin Ball and collaborators.
Content warning. Challenging subject matter. References to emotional and physical trauma, amputation, and being lost. Erin, a white woman with tattoos and bright red hair, lays on her side. White fabric streaming down from the ceiling is wrapped around her waist. Red flower petals configured in the shape of a heart surround her and camouflage the bottoms of her legs.
6 days, 144 hours, 8,640 minutes. It's all the same.
Her knees bend in toward her body and away from what we now realize are a pair of prosthetic legs, not her own. She sits up and brings her knees into her chest in a loving embrace.
You needed me and I needed you. So we thought.
Erin rises to her knees, reaching up and grabbing onto the white fabric that hangs from above her. She leans back, wraps one leg and then the other into the fabric. She sways.
We needed some space, some time to get away. We just needed to leave.
Erin climbs higher off the ground. With grace and strength she rises, wrapping her body with the white fabric for support. Arms extended, back arched, legs in splits. Seated now, legs into chest, she looks down, butterfly tattoo on each knee.
The sight of the butterfly is why we stopped. The extension of the wings has me captivated. I need to wander and keep moving from this place.
Erin crawls in the woods. There is snow on the ground. She's not dressed for the weather. Back inside, Erin sits, wrapped in the white hanging fabric, her arms raise and lower. Suspended again in the air, right leg and chest wrapped supportively in the white hanging fabric.
A path is where we travel to enjoy the view and be one with our thoughts. I feel empty. A sense of paralysis washes over. My thoughts have me in a different place.
In the woods, Erin balances, hands under chest, cheek against snow. Her left leg stretches toward the sky. Inside, Erin sits, slowly pulling the fabric around her like a curtain.
I never knew the name of this place right away. They call it Mountain Road.
The sign for Mountain Road appears, white text on a small rectangular sign.
I would have a lifetime relationship with this place.
A dark pond and snow-covered shorelines. A large piece of floating ice separates the water from the land. Erin, suspended in darkness, lit only by a spotlight from below.
I want to go home now. The snow is all around. The ground is becoming wet and swampy. I want to go home now.
Outside, Erin sits on a large tree stump. The bottoms of her legs are exposed.
I need a break. I'm tired. This stump is my new friend. The wet swamp is my temporary home.
Seated again at the base of the hanging white fabric, Erin's face is lit by a glowing sun, her eyes downcast.
I am finding solace here. I feel nothing. The emptiness is real. The cold is hitting me hard.
Suspended again by the white fabric, Erin turns over and over, arms like windmills, slowly lowering herself back to earth.
The wetness is all around. I cannot go on like this. I am paralyzed.
Legs in prostheses walking in the snow.
I feel no pain, though I keep moving. 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 Then I stop. 2014. 6 days, 144 hours. 8,640 minutes. Alive.
A final image of Erin, laying down, surrounded by red flower petals. Her body hovers above the ground, suspended by the white fabric. The bottoms of her legs are exposed proudly, distanced from her prostheses. Creative concept and movement by Erin Ball. Poem title, 2014. Written and spoken by Georgina Riel, Wabishki Makwakwe, Indigenous Affairs Consultant and Artist. Riel Cultural Consulting. Katarina Ziervogel, ASL Interpretation. Becky Gold, Audio Description. Yusuf Kudura, Disability Dramaturgy. Zach Wilson, Film Crew. Closed Caption Services, Captions. Vaughn Evans, Producer, Videographer. Co-presented by Skeleton Park Arts Festival and the Disability Collective. White text on black background. Thank you to everyone who has been involved in this journey. The amount of love, care, and support has been unbelievable. Sending so much love out to you all. Erin Ball.
Thank you so much to Erin for this amazing piece, and to Skeleton Park Arts Festival for sponsoring Erin and co-presenting this piece with us tonight.
To learn more about Erin, visit her on Instagram at Erin Ball Circus. And to learn more about the incredible Skeleton Park Arts Festival, check out their website, skeletonparkartsfest.ca.
All right, folks, we are getting close to the end of our show. We only have 2 artists left. The first is an amazing visual artist. Please welcome Michel Dumont.
Hello. Hi. Bonjour. My name is Michel Dumont. And hey, hopefully everyone can hear me. Great. I'm a queer Ojibwe French two-spirit disabled artist from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. I'm wearing a wine-colored dress shirt, and a red vintage Versace tie. I have salt and pepper short hair and a dark brown beard. I'm a maker of wearable art for my local drag community. I make mosaic ceramic animals using vintage wall and floor tile and vintage animal forms. And lately I've been into installation art and my home mirror infinity room, exploring reflection. We need more empathy to see each other inside of each other. And I'm an emerging artist with 5 years of exhibition. So the video, I guess, now. And I love Erin's work, by the way. there. I hope you enjoy my little silver infinity dream room. For me, it is an exercise in joy to be able to define my own reality and to play with a mirror reflection room. I first saw Yayoi Kusama in Toronto a couple of years ago, and the Infinity Room there at the Art Gallery of Ontario. And luckily, as a disabled artist on a pension on disability, I was given the opportunity to have all these plate glass mirrors for $5 a mirror at a department store that had closed 20 years ago, the old Eaton's department store. And so when you give a poor artist cheap material, it's amazing what you can do. And that brings me to my mosaic animals. I found all these wall and floor tiles behind a bath and ceramic store in my city, and they were just in the alley, all these beautiful sample boards. And so I picked them up 20 years ago because I was on disability and I saw that they were colorful, and I decided to teach myself how to make ceramics. So this guy is my maple leaf weasel, and I want to quickly explain him. So I was making him this summer, and he's adorned with the maple leaf, and he has his feet and his legs to be reminiscent of the Canadian flag. So he's my political piece, and I'll quickly explain him. So this is my maple leaf weasel. He's draped in the Canadian flag. The Canadian Human Rights Tribunal recently ordered Ottawa to pay billions in compensation to First Nations children separated by chronically underfunded child welfare system. The children were ripped away by underpaid, overworked social workers rather than pay for services designed to keep the families together. This was also discriminatory because it penalized children living on reserve with underfunded children and family services, as opposed to off-reserve children who were covered by provincial agencies. The result was a massive removal of children from their parents in a system that had more First Nation children living in foster care than at the height of the residential school era. The current Liberal government has chosen to spend money fighting this decision. Indigenous children make up more than half the children in foster care, even though they are just 7% of all children under the age of 15. My son was my ward through Children's Aid. He is my second cousin. He was added to my disability check. If he had been my foster child, I would have had more money to raise him since I was off reserve. The government is trying to slip out of any responsibility was foremost in my mind while I was carving the tile for this piece. So my most political piece is a very cute little Canadian weasel. So thank you for allowing me to talk. The artists are phenomenal. I love Aaron Ball's work. I can't wait to discover all the other artists on this show. So thank you for inviting me. Miigwech.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
We love your work and your creativity. To learn more about Michel, please follow him on Instagram at MadBear67.
We are approaching our last performance of the show. So if you haven't yet and are still interested in donating to these incredible artists, don't forget the link is thedisabilitycollective.com/donate.
Every dollar donated goes directly towards the artists you are seeing tonight.
Yes.
All right, everyone, it is time for our final performance of the night. Remember earlier when we asked you for your suggestions for this artist to create an improvised song? Well, let's meet the artist. Please welcome the amazing Velvet Duke.
Hey everybody, I am Velvet Duke. Thank you very much for allowing me to be part of this wonderful showcase. I want to give a shout out to my friend Amanda. Thank you for being here as well. I am a black man with salt and pepper hair and beard. I am wearing a dark purple shirt. I currently have headphones on, one so that I could hear all of you, and one so I'll be able to hear my music. I have some wonderful paintings on a white wall behind me. I'm not going to spend time with them, except they were painted by a friend of mine. So shout out to you, Aaron Smith. I am going to make music up on the spot. I have a looper that's going to run in the background, and I'll use your suggestions. Before I do that, I also want to give my land and waterways acknowledgement. While we are connected virtually, I am performing from Toronto, the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. It is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. I acknowledge that my people were settled here, and I am still processing that information. In this moment, you hold space for me. I am Black, queer, autistic, hard of hearing, and hard of seeing. I am educating myself, decolonizing my vocabulary, reframing my life and my art. It is not enough to recognize the past and continued genocide, injustice, and mistreatment of Indigenous and Black people, that the pandemic, climate change, and violence continue to disproportionately affect Indigenous and Black people. More of us need to move beyond acknowledging. And now I'm going to improvise. The suggestions that I saw come through were chocolate, banana bread, grocery store lineups, being unstoppable. That one actually stops me. I want to do being unstoppable. I may not look like much, but once I've touched your heart, you'll know that I'm more than a such and such. I've got the power to stop the show. It's more than my voice, it is my choice, the way that I use it for you. It's more than my voice and the look in my eye. It's the things that I choose to do that make me unstoppable. Who'd want to stop someone so kind like me? Unstoppable. I'm going to live in my advocacy. You may have hesitation, not quite sure what to do, but I've learned to put that behind me. I'm in front guiding you, and we'll both be unstoppable. Acting for what other people need, we'll be unstoppable. Putting people above corporate greed. It doesn't matter how you look, the way your past was going. I've been there myself, I'm learning. My heart's now showing. You can both be vulnerable and powerful every day. If you have the courage to let your heart show the way. To be unstoppable. I don't want to stop, no, till I've reached the top goal. This isn't about control. It's about connecting with the flow. Unstoppable. Thank you. All right, we had some other suggestions. We had hockey and football, recycling, minions, and this one, hope for the future. I'm going to see what hope for the future sounds like. I think we could all use some hope for the future. That's a bit loud. If I had to act right away, what would I say to change your heart? I want to know if I can, know if I will, know if I stop or know if I start. Will I connect with your heart? If I'm tripping, will you look at me with some pity? Will you say that that's a pity? 'Cause you're just from the city, you're not quite who you say you will be. Or will you have empathy? I have hope in the future that you and I will be true to whoever we need to be. Nothing will hold us back. Even if we go off the track, that's okay. We've just discovered a new way to get ourselves back to living with the land. Even if we're not hand in hand. Because of the pandemic, I understand. Just wash and keep away from each other for now. But I have hope for the future, that we will heal all this soon, that we'll connect with each other the way meant to, and not be stuck in our rooms. Oh, if I go, I want to know the direction it is. Is it up to space? That'd be my place. You'd see my face just like the moon I'd beam, and it seemed like I was where I was meant to be. It's not for everyone, I'm just telling you what the dream is for me. I want to know what you need. Let's take a moment. Come on, give it to me. Don't dull it. Don't be afraid to share your dream. Don't you know that it is too extreme? The way we've held back, that's not good for me. I have hope for the future, that we'll take the time we need, that we will live a life fully connected to each other, away from corporate greed. I hope that you hope that we hold the same views of life. It matters that we matter more than all the capitalism that tries to thrive. Take a step back and listen to what you need, to all of your dreams, and let yourself go on that adventure. Oh, and you'll be like me, with a hope for the future, with a dream for the future. And I know in the future we'll get what walk hand in hand. Oh, I've got a dream for the future, true, that when I look at you, it won't be through a stream. Oh, you'll be there with me. We'll be face to face, and we will be free. No smog of the city, no feeling, no pity. You won't look at me and only know my disability. You'll see I'm fully realized, and you may realize I see the same for you when I look in your eyes. That is my hope for the future, of everyone I know and I don't. I know that we can get there as long as we hold our own. Thank you. That's what I want to do tonight. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share my passion for improv, share my passion for connecting. Thank you. And I pass it back to our guests, our hosts.
Velvet! Thank you so much for sharing that with us. As a performer, I have no idea how you do that, and I am just in shock and so overjoyed that you joined us tonight. If you want to learn more about Velvet, please visit his website, thevelvetduke.com.
And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our very first event ever, Artist Movement. Let's take a look at how much we were able to raise tonight.
It's incredible. Thanks to all of you, we were able to raise $2,770. This is going towards our disabled artists and creators who shared with you tonight. Every single dollar. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us and to everybody who donated. And if you haven't donated yet, do not worry, your chance is not over yet. The disabilitycollective.com/donate and our GoFundMe campaign will be live for a few more days or hours or for a while. So don't hesitate to check that out and give these artists $1 if you can spare it.
We want to thank all of our amazing artists for participating in this event.
We want to thank our wonderful interpreters, Dave and Amanda, for coming on board and helping us make this incredibly complicated and diverse show more accessible.
We also would like to thank the Theater Center for sponsoring all of our production costs.
Skeleton Park Arts Festival for co-presenting Aaron Ball's piece with us.
And Rosemary Theater for your support.
And every single person who joined us this evening or who has donated to our GoFundMe campaign. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to head over to thedisabilitycollective.com to stay up to date with all our future projects and events.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you again soon.
Night.
Good night.